Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, everybody. Welcome back to your pre-market watch list. So we're going to get ready to cover a couple of the stocks that we believe you guys should be following for today. So CAAS was a stock from yesterday that really had a phenomenal day by the end of the day. So this ended up turning into a really good long move by the end of the day. I did a little bit of short trading on it earlier in the day. We had a big short squeeze in the afternoon. And then that is continuing into pre-market today. If we look at the daily chart, you'll see that the price is obviously overextended now. So for the time being, the momentum's on the upside. But overall, our price target on the stock is going to be $5.37. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, the price target's really $7.33. So in the event this stock crashes today, crashes tomorrow, overall we would be looking for a decrease back down to about the $7.63 price. So when you see these penny stocks go up and they crash and then they have that bounce a couple days later, that 733, 750 and that 530 price would be where we would first look to have that bounce occur. So for right now, momentum is on the upside with CAAS, but we're going to overall be short bias today on it, anticipating that today would be the run that this stops. So for right now, there's really not a lot to do with this. It's just kind of sitting on trend. So it's not oversold like it was here. It's not overbought. So really, we're just playing this one by ear because if in the event it keeps trading the way it's trading, kind of going sideways and opening up, really right on this middle trend, by the time market open rolls around, it can get a little bit more confusing. Whereas if it was opening up all the way up here towards this yellow or the green, we would for sure be bearish. Or if it were opening up down here towards the green or the blue, we would most likely be long bias. So right now we're kind of in the middle of the playing field. We're at the 50-yard marker, and no one quite has the win on direction. So this is something we always kind of wait a little bit to get a feel for at market open. Whereas if it's really overbought or really oversold, we'd be either more bearish or more long bias going into the open. So for right now, we're watching CAS, AAS, but overall, we're going to be short bias that stock today. But if we go look at something like BB, so BB I've already traded short bias today, made $179. This is something we're going to keep an eye on for the open, right? Now, if you look at BB, look where BB's at. BB's all the way up here above this blue line. Now, it's only 8:30. We got another hour before market open. But let's say BB stays trading up here, 747, even up to 8 or up to 9 or up to 10, whatever. And the market opens and it's right above this blue line, we're going to want to be more bearish on the stock going into the open. Granted, this does have some pretty good news today with Amazon, the AWS. I believe AWS and BlackBerry joined forces to accelerate innovation with new intelligent vehicle data platform. I know that was really fast. It was really quick, but nonetheless, it's just news with Amazon, AWS for BlackBerry. That's good news. BlackBerry's been kind of a dog in the industry for a long time, and the fact that they got some news with Amazon, it's piquing some interest. So the concept here is that the higher this is up pre-market, and if we can justify we're out of trend, which we're currently out of trend, this is overvalued. So it's a good chance we're going to see this decrease and fall into sort of a short move maybe to start the day, and then maybe have our bounce move or a long move afterwards. So going into the open, if BB is staying up at like 7:30, it's even higher up towards 8, we're essentially going to be more short bias on BlackBerry going into the open. Right now, if we look at the long-term charts, you can see that's where the blue line is, the $7 mark. It's right there. And if we look at the 4-hour chart, it's right there. So theoretically, we are slightly overbought on the long-term chart as well. We have gone over trend on the long-term daily chart and the 4-hour chart. So again, we're essentially bearish on BB for right now. Figure there's going to be a bearish move we can trade into, and it's easy to borrow on Thinkorswim, so traders can short that. That's the other thing that makes this interesting, is that this is a penny stock theoretically that's up big pre-market, and anybody on Thinkorswim can short it. This might add fuel to the fire to make it more of a long, because if everybody on Thinkorswim tries to short this today and they're wrong, they're going to get blown out of their short. So that's another reason why we're still considering it to be a long stock as well. Okay. Now, a couple things that we'll touch on are NVAX. This is a stock that, again, we were swing trading. We're still long. I only have 4 shares of it now. I deleveraged, but we'd hit our first price target. Our entry was like 102. The price is now 149. So we've caught 48 points, 47 points on the swing. And we're still holding it. I'm going to see if we can press the prices to 180. So that's just a swing trade we're in. All the swing trades we're in. Like I said, only have 4 shares on that. All the swing trades we're currently in are NVAX. Zoom, we already hit our price target of like 480. That's why I deleveraged, and now I'm just holding 3 shares. So now I'm just a happy owner of Zoom stock with 3 shares. They just went through their earnings announcement yesterday. Stock dropped, but overall, it's just 3 shares. So I'm completely fine sitting in it. If we take a look at BABA, we're still holding 5 shares of BABA. BABA pulled back on some news. So we're just kind of sitting, waiting on BABA to make up its mind, see if we hit a new low or what the case is. But we already deleveraged 90% of that swing trade when we got up to the prices of 280. So we're good on that one. And then PayPal is our newest swing trade that we're looking at. Not looking at, I mean, we're in it. We've been looking at it. We will continue to be looking at it, but PayPal is the newest swing trade we have. Long-term charts, we're starting to break over. So we have this big developed U-shaped W bull flag. And if we're right, we should be seeing PayPal break out, and we're going to try to target somewhere around 240 to 250 on the PayPal swing trade. So right now, just have 100 shares in long, so that if it breaks out, we're in it. If it dips a little more, I'll probably add a little more. But for the time being, our PayPal swing trade is working well. Our first target on the upside is going to be this 222. If we can get to 222, there's a good chance we have a red day or a red trading session. But if we can get through the 222, then that's when the stock essentially will fully break out. That's the breakout point, okay? All these previous tops right here, like this, that's not the breakout. PayPal has not broken out yet, right? You would think it's broken out if you just go based on simple support and resistance. You go say PayPal is over resistant, so we've broken out. No, we have not broken out yet. PayPal only breaks out when it gets through 221, 222. It's actually like 222.70 to be exact, or something like that. So really, PayPal's only broken out through 223. And the reason I say that is because you're not going to see that gigantic rip move unless you go through that trend. So for me, it's never a breakout over the previous highs. It's always a breakout through trend. So if we can successfully come from this low side we were just in, this dip, swing up through that trend, then we'll see a momentum push that brings us probably closer to almost the 260 to 250 mark. So that's really what we're gearing up here for in PayPal. And part of that makes me feel comfortable is the fact that, PayPal is all involved with Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin obviously hit all-time highs again, so there's a lot of momentum in Bitcoin. PayPal has bought in a lot of Bitcoin, so they're making money on their Bitcoin investments. So anything surrounding PayPal right now in cryptocurrency is hot. So I figured being long PayPal currently makes sense with the environment we've been seeing take place within Bitcoin. So right now we got swing long that, and if that works, then obviously we'll be making a lot more than $300. Okay. Just an update here on silver and gold. So for those of you that obviously know I love silver and gold, I cut off my silver position. I remember posting a video saying I bought $40,000 worth. I bought $40,000 worth of SLV when we were in this dip. We pushed up. We dropped down. I closed on that pop because I knew we were probably going to roll over. After we had the strong rejection, that's when I lost the confidence in the bullish move. So I invested 40 grand back here and then took it off on this pop here. As we faded out, I deleveraged gold. I deleveraged silver. So I pretty much closed most of those positions, except for some other accounts. My longer term accounts, I still own them, but one of my trading accounts, I took them out. So we should be seeing kind of a bounce now in gold and silver. Like we've gotten down to the prices where it makes sense for it to bounce. So don't be surprised if you see gold and silver kind of pushing up here in the next week or so. And then as you've noticed, your dollar is probably still going down. Let's take a look. Yep, you can see dollar is still weakening, dollar is still sliding. This is something we've been telling you guys for 3 years now. The dollar is going to go down. And that's primarily why we were invested in gold and silver so long ago. It was actually this breakup. I'll show you. It was that move. When this broke up like that, I said dollar is going to go down. And since then, we've been trailing off pretty heavy. So as a whole, I still feel comfortable long term on the dollar, on gold and silver. Still think you're going to see the dollar get weaker. But overall, that is all we have for you on today's watch list. So again, keep an eye on CAAS, keep an eye on BB, and those are really the two main stocks we're going to follow here for today. So everybody take care, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.